Welcome to Figure Porn 45. Thank you for your time checking my video. This is my review of the Mcfarlane DC Multiverse Batman Beyond vs. Justice Lord Superman 2-pack. If you are new to my channel, please leave a like and subscribe if you like my videos. This will really help me a lot in making more of these videos. Now please enjoy. So the first thing that I noticed in this 2-pack is that he has that standard 2-pack background stand with this background option. So it has two sides. You can use this as a background or you can use this as a background. To be honest, for me, since this is just a cardboard, it is actually a pretty soft and it's too small for me. I actually like this background more in the box. This one. It is bigger and I think it will cover more than than this one. Let me just move this away so that I can show it better in the camera. Okay, so there. Now I have more space. So this is the one that is provided as a background. So it is two-sided. It's that one and that one. And look at that size difference. I actually think that instead of using this, I'm just gonna use this. And then this other side is actually the same as the one inside that. Let me just show. Let me just pull it out. Yeah, this one. Which, to be honest, I think is better. If Mcfarlane is gonna give us this background, I just wish that they do not stick this card and this base on it so that we can actually reuse it as a background, because let me just get one off. There. Because that actually will make a better background. It's bigger than this one. I mean, for me that looks better. You can even adjust this if you want it to have like a more of a three-dimensional effect. So probably what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the cards there and then the base there, since I have hundreds of this. And I'm gonna display it this way instead of this option. This, that just looks, it's just too small. I think using this one is better. Now that's just a tip for you if you guys want to display it with the background. And then for this one, I'm just gonna use the back of the box because that's bigger. Yeah, I'm just gonna find a way how to cut this out. I actually already showed most of this already, but let's go and start with the packaging. So this is how it looks like in the front, and it says DC Multiverse Batman Beyond versus Justice Lord Superman. At the side, that's how it looks. On the other side, the bottom, on the top, and as I shown before, this is the back. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna cut this one. I like this one better as the background instead of this one that they provided. First of all, it's too soft, and yeah, it's too small for me. And since we're on that subject, let's probably start with the stand. So this is how the stand looks like. I like that Mcfarlane actually provide this on when Mcfarlane provide this on their 2-pack. It's like a simple diorama, but yeah, it actually adds to the value of what you buy when you buy a 2-pack. So the way I noticed this, that it only has one peg here and one peg here. I don't see any other option to put them in the figure here except for these 2 pegs. And another thing that I actually don't like is that the connection for this one. Yeah, it's not really that, that tight. It's like it's just hanging there. See, it's not like it doesn't have any friction on it. Yeah. I was kind of hoping at least that when I put the background, it will be a tight fit, but yeah, it's not. It's like you just put it there, and yeah, see. Anyway, enough of the stand. Now for accessories, for the Justice Lord Superman, he has these 2 alternate hands. So it's like 2 grabbing hands. From out of the box, he has 2 clothespin hands. And that's the only accessory for Justice Lord Superman. Now for the Batman Beyond, it says here that it's Batman Beyond 2.0, and I'll be honest, Batman Beyond I know is the one from the animated series. That's the only one that I know. I'm not really I haven't really read any comics that is for Batman Beyond. So if this 2.0 thing is from the comics, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that in the animated series there was no Batman Beyond 2.0. Now he comes with 2 hands, like claw hands. Okay. And then it comes with 2 batarangs, although they look like doves, am I? Yeah. Anyway, they're batarangs. I mean, it's Batman. What am I thinking? So yeah, it comes with 2 batarangs, and then 2 out of the box. He has 2 normal hands. So these are his claw hands, and these are his normal hands. And that's all the accessories that comes with Batman Beyond. So starting with the Batman Beyond 2.0, basically it is a green repaint of the Batman Beyond figure. So looking at the head sculpt, it is pretty well painted. And this is molded. So it's just a simple black base and they added like these green details. To be honest, it is a pretty simple figure, but looking at the front, I actually like it because of those green detail. But what I don't like is at the back, it's just plain black. There's no green detail at the back. You know, it's like they made this figure to always be displayed. Well, I know that we always display our figure looking facing like that and not facing back, but you know, I just feel like this was done half-assed again, that they should have at least painted this like this one, you know, and then since there's this detail here and there's no detail there, so yeah, it's kind of disappointing that there's no paint in the back. You know, looking at this back, it's like it's just a plain black figure. There's no painted details on it. But looking at the front, well, anyway, I still like this figure. I like this. At first, I thought that this is not a single piece, but it's actually a two-piece. So this is actually articulated. So there are actually two pieces here. So yeah, so you can move those like that. So aesthetically, in the front is okay. I like the paint job, but as I said, it looks like they half-assed again when they do the painting because there's no paint at all at the back. Now for the articulation, you can look down that far. You can look up that far. You can look side to side. So surprisingly, the head has actually had pretty good articulation. Now on the hand, you can do the T-pose. Why is this one higher than the other one? Yeah, you can do that. Then if you will move the wing, you can do that. And then that two double jointed elbow, and then the hand, and then yeah, that joint. So you can do the typical Mcfarlane hand articulation. There's that ball cut there. Now in the abdomen, he has a cut there. Then he can go up like that, and then he can go forward like that. Can go side to side a little. But if you will have this, you know, this waist cut, you can practically it's still limited. Even with the waist, you can only look down that far, but you can look up that far, which is pretty good if you want to pose him on, if you want to put him on a flying pose. Yeah, and then side to side. For the leg, you can kick that far. You can kick back that far, which is good. Then double jointed leg. Then for here, there's that. Then you can do that. And then you can do the bend them like that. the reason why I bought this 2-pack, Justice Lord. But yeah, to be honest, this is the reason why I bought the 2-pack, but I actually like this figure. Despite the fact that it lacks paint at the back, this actually looks good. Or, well, maybe it's just because that I'm a huge Batman fan. That's why I love any Batman figure. So yeah, this is still what, this is actually still a good looking figure. Now, Justice Lord, this is a good head sculpt. What I just don't like is that I think his eyes are defaulted as on the red, like he's mad or he's about to use his eye beam. Yeah, yeah. Not sure if you see it, but yeah, it's pretty red. It's like it's about to use his eye beam. Now, one of the things that I noticed on the promo pics when I saw this is that, oh no, they're using the same pre-pose, you know. Am I gonna have the same issue here as the Eradicator with this pre-pose cape? I mean, look at that. But this cape is actually pretty soft, so yeah. But still, it's gonna limit you. It's gonna limit your display option since his cape is pre-posed like this. So I don't know why Mcfarlane does this, but yeah, the only good thing is that this is a soft cape, so you can, I don't know. Yeah, it's pre-posed, so yeah. So that's one negative thing that I don't like about this figure, is this pre-posed cape. And then I'm not sure if this is some quality control issue. There's this thing here on my copy. It's like a tear. So maybe that's some kind of QC issue. Yeah. So the S is sculpted, and then like the Batman Beyond, it's basically pure black with just some white paint, which I don't think that's McFarlane's fault, because that's actually how the character is designed. But at least this one is fully painted up to the back. Yeah, despite the plainness of his aesthetic, I actually like the design of figure. If only they did not use this cape, man. This is really annoying. This cape is really annoying, but the figure as a whole, maybe I'm just gonna I'm gonna buy a customized cape for this one to make him more, to add the fun factor in this figure, because as far as the base, I like it. Now for the articulation, you can, oh, wait. Wow, I can't basically move this. See? Oh, there. It's just stuck. See, even on the camera, this is, let me just touch it. So there. So it can look up that far. It can look down that far. Then it can look side to side. And then, so head articulation is pretty limited, actually. Or is it just tight? Yeah, is it that just tight? Now that I played with it, yeah, you can do a side to side like that. You can look down up to there. Yeah, it's just a tight. The joint is just tight, but yeah, head articulation is Okay, I think I just have a tight joint on my copy. Like now it's stuck again, but yep, there, it's okay now. Then for the hand, I'm just gonna go here because this is limited by, this side is limited by this cape. So you can go around that much. So typical ball cup there. So there's that. Double jointed elbow. And that, and that. Typical Mcfarlane articulation there. We can do the, for the abdomen. Can do up to that. And that. Waist articulation, so if you combine them. Yeah, I don't know why McFarlane's another one McFarlane weakness now that I don't have any problem with their head sculpt, because to be honest, the recent releases of McFarlane, their head sculpt are amazing. And despite that I said that this is defaulted for an I-beam that is about to do an I-beam, we cannot, I still need to acknowledge that this is a pretty good head sculpt. But another weakness of McFarlane is now this articulation combined with the waist articulation. You can only look forward up to that. You can look back pretty good, but you can only look forward up to that. Then side to side is okay. So the only weakness of McFarlane is this one. When you want to make them flat, articulation is pretty limited there, which is very typical for most McFarlane figures. Now we can kick that far, can kick back that far, double jointed. Yeah, that's a tight joint. Then typical ankle articulation, toe. Then you can do the bend down that far. Yeah, so articulation wise, typical McFarlane's points of articulation. Which for me, to be honest, is enough, but sometimes there are those figures that McFarlane releases and they just surprise you with the articulation. But in the case of this one, it's just the standard McFarlane articulation. I'm not sure if anyone, maybe, I don't know, maybe some of you guys will not like this because the diaper is kind of, it's not tight, it's not fitted, it's just kind of wide. So I just want to show this to you. So I don't know if this is gonna be a deal breaker for some of you guys. For me, it doesn't matter. I like it. I don't have a problem with it since I'm gonna be posting this mostly. But yeah, I just want to point that out in case it is a deal breaker for some of you guys, that this is kind of, not fit. Well, it's kind of loose. I was actually lazy to look for this one, but then I found out that it is actually, the eradicator is actually in my display cabinet. So now I can actually compare the two of them. So just Stored is a complete repaint of the eradicator mold. Yeah. And for this Justice Lord, my issue is also that diaphragm is also a little too loose, which is the same on this one, despite the fact that they use a different diaphragm for it, but there's still that issue of this being loose. I don't know why they were not able to perfectly fit on it, but yeah, after seeing my complaint on the cape and then the loose one, I just decided to compare it with this one. Yeah, it is a complete reuse of the Eradicator figure. So this 2-pack is basically a couple of repaints, but at least they were able, I think it is a good repaint because this is a completely different character. I just wish that with all the complaints that the Eradicator had with this pre-pose, cape, they changed it here, but yeah, it's the same mold, including the cape. But yeah, despite the fault of this figure, through time I actually learned to love it. So I love this figure, and I guess that's why this figure is also called me. At first, I didn't want to buy this, but yeah, through time I learned to love this mold. Overall, is this 2-pack worth it? So basically, it's just a bunch of reissue of 2 molds. They are both repaint, which, let's face it, it is actually not new in this in the toy industry. Hasbro tends to do it actually a lot, and maybe this is one of Mcfarlane's way of, reusing their mold, cutting back on costs. But I think this is actually they are both good repaints. It is a good decision for them to repaint this as Justice Lord because, yeah, the design of the character is basically just a black mold with just white on it, and yeah, I think they nailed it on this repaint. Despite all the flaws on the diaphragm and the cape, I like this figure. And as I told you, when I bought this, actually my main focus is Justice Lord because, to be honest, I thought it was a new mold, but as I discovered, it is basically a repaint of Eradicator. But this figure actually piqued my interest, so I also love it. So for me, with these two repaints, and then add to that the base and the accessories, I think it is worth a buy. So I do recommend this if you are a fan of this character.